So deliverance from my enemies to blow my fears is cold. I'm no longer a slave to fear. I am a child of God. I'm no longer a slave to fear. I am a child of God. You're listening to Sky 99.5 FM. It is my pleasure again to welcome to the mic the man, Dr. Batson of Batson and Associates. Good morning, Dr. Batson.
Good morning, Mr. Dion Green, sir. How are you?
Well, I'm blessed and highly flavored. How are you doing?
I am good. It's what I have to say, boy, I'll tell you what, Happy New Year, happy birthday, happy everything. You don't know I haven't seen you.
Definitely. It's been a very long time. I've just been listening to recordings.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, sir. Yes. I know how that could be. Let me say a pleasant good morning to the listeners of Sky 99.5. I was fortunate enough to hear Miss Collins pray. So, thank you very much for that. I always, I mean, not that I'm trying to call Miss Collins senior, but it is no, it is no in the voice and the wisdom in the words and that kind of thing, So I say thank you because, that certainly impacted me, so that's something that, we always thankful for because we're living in a time where, I mean, it's so uncertain. As I was telling someone the other day, this is the first time, I mean, since I've known myself that it's almost as if it is, when you call a person's phone now, they might not answer, somebody else might answer and tell you, that has happened to me a few times last year. And this year already, where because it is one of people that I would have been in regular contact with, but would have been like business dealings and that type of thing. And I had other persons dealing with them. And then when I called for them now, I realized, they say, well, so and so passed, they died from COVID, they died,
Just yesterday, someone was sharing with me that there was somebody that they were always in contact with, was sending messages and stuff. They stopped hearing from them, and when they inquired, they passed away. It's this thing, Dr. Batson, is taking families, mothers, fathers, and it's really, really sad.
Yeah, it's serious. So I mean, I always tell persons, God in charge at the end of the day. I mean, if that, so people tell you, if you want to tell you're naive or you're being, I don't know, naive is the word. That you could just say that, but I mean, believe me, that's the only assurance mankind have. Definitely. So again, a pleasant good morning to the listeners of Sky 99.5. We are live on Facebook, our Facebook feed, Batson and Associates Limited. I've seen a lot of good mornings coming in. The usual, Miss Pamela Moses, Miss Delarue, Christopher. I get some ladies with some fancy, nice names here. So if all you get it, the surname, it means I cannot pronounce the first name and I'm not even attempting. Miss Karen Mitchell, Miss June Jatan, Olivette McFarlane, Miss Becca, Joycey Smith, London, and Joycey Smith is London, London in the house. So, as usual, a pleasure. We have an interesting program. I have an hour on Sky this morning, and we'll be continuing on our Facebook for an additional hour. And of course, we'll be entertaining your calls. So, those of you on Facebook today, I should be able to answer a lot of your questions. What you'll allow me to do, though, is that when I'm finished, whatever I could see on the screen that I currently have with me, I would answer accordingly in conjunction with what Sky is doing. And then when we finish with Sky, I'll try to answer as much as your questions as possible. So, as usual, we're discussing health from a natural and integrative perspective. Just this morning, coming down the vehicle, I was like, what am I going to talk about today? So I was trying to think of something that I haven't spoken about, but then I've spoken about circulation, diabetes, hypertension. But these things are always current and always practical because, a lot of persons have issues regarding those things. So I'm going to touch on a few things that deal with your appearance, because I think that's something a lot of people care about. So we're going to talk about how one could attain, in some bit, healthy skin, healthy hair. We know the ladies, I mean, is a hair situation with all you. Some people, for various reasons have to buy it. Some people, you have a little wig you just put on. I mean, and you might have a situation where you genuinely have a situation where you're actually losing hair. Because there are hair situations or hair issues or diseases, if you want to call it, of the scalp. So you have things like alopecia, which you find women is usually associated with women, of course, and then you have male pattern baldness, which is of course associated with men. And then you have the ladies who, as usual, you all want to look beautiful. So makeup is always a thing. You want to have nice skin and that type. So that is what we're going to speak about today. We're going to speak about, in part, how could you have good hair, healthy hair, if you have a situation where your hair falling, what can you do about that situation? How does your fingernails look? The quality of your skin. Do you have a nice skin tone? Because your skin tone generally, and we're not speaking about complexion here or ethnicity here. We're speaking about the tone of your skin here. There's when people are healthy, your skin have this kind of glow. What do you really do to attain that? So that's what we're going to speak about today. And of course, the lines are open. Any questions you have regarding any issue as regards to the human body, regards the products and services of Batson and Associates, you can feel free to give us a call, send a WhatsApp, whatever the case may be. Don't be selfish. And those of you, if you know someone who may be suffering from a particular disease and you want to put them onto the program, then that's something that you could always do, because I mean the information shared, I believe, here could help anyone, and as a result of that, as I said, you don't want to be selfish. Good information is always something that is that you should share and is ever valuable. So we know skin primarily falls in the category of what is known as the integumentary system, right? And that's just a big term to mean the organ or the organ systems that make up the skin. So you have different layers of skin. You have your dermis, your epidermis, and whatnot. You have your pores. Then, of course, those of you who are not what we call bottle breeds, you have a little hair on you, that kind of thing. So all of that make up part of the integumentary system. So, what could you do to make that system healthy? Well, one of the most important things that assist individuals with maintaining healthy skin is Santulan. Why Santulan? Because Santulan is a 7-channel detox. Now, I'm a big advocate of detoxing, and huge advocate, simply because I understand what detoxifying the body can do. And I also understand what happens when you have toxins stored in your body. Now, a lot of persons do not understand that toxins, pathogens, which are either bacteria, virus, fungus, even parasites, or pathogens that may be parasitic in nature, can significantly affect one's skin, right? Your liver, which is a major organ of detoxification, is also an indication of if you have a healthy liver, usually your skin is much healthier. You're going to have a glow and that type of thing, simply because the liver plays a significant role in the metabolism of protein. And we know protein amino acids play a significant function as it relates to skin and different cells in the body. So definitely, when you're looking at a 7-channel detox, so you're looking at detoxing, then Santulan is your product. Why? As I said, it's a 7-channel detox. So it cleans and detoxifies kidney, colon, bloodstream, liver, lymphatic system, skin, and your lungs. Now, when you understand what I just said about the skin itself is an organ of detoxification, right? We know that because some of the most amount of toxins that you lose or that leave the body via sweat, right? So that's a good thing because, again, that is the body's ability or the body's system in removing, or one aspect of removing waste from the body. So when you pair Alkagen water, which is a premium alkaline water, add Batson and Associates, and the Santulan, which is the 7-channel detox, you have a product here that if you have a situation with hair, if you have a situation with skin, it is going to begin to improve. Now, you find a lot of young people will tell you, especially young ladies, that they have acne, and the acne is usually associated with hormonal changes in the body. Now, that is true to an extent, but if it is problematic where you find you have a lot of acne on the face, you have backne, so all your back, your shoulders, you having problems with your menstrual cycle, that type of thing. That's a clear indication that you have a serious hormonal imbalance issue. So it might even go further where it might be an indication that you have polycystic ovarian syndrome. It might be an indication that you're having early signs of fibroids, polycystic. You know, something in that area is not correct. But the problem is, in integrative medicine, one of the things, that we have the ability to do, or what we should do, is really deal with the root cause of the issue. So if we're speaking about hormonal imbalance, and then you have a skin situation that has been caused by the hormonal imbalance, what caused the hormonal imbalance? So we have to go back a few steps. So which organ system in the body controls hormones? Which one? The endocrine system. So your endocrine system comprises of what? Your glands, right? So thyroid, parathyroid, your pituitary, your adrenal. Primarily, these glands are responsible for the production of hormones. What are hormones? Hormones are chemical messengers in the body that deal with specific functions, right? So you have testosterone, you have progesterone, you have estrogen, and the list goes on and on. You have different aspects associated with the adrenals and that type of thing. But we're discussing hormonal imbalance as it relates to skin situations with acne and backne and those type of things. So it means we have to go back a little further. So which system is going to affect the endocrine system, the gastrointestinal system? So we come back again to Santulan, 7-channel detox, kidney, colon, bloodstream, liver, lymphatic system, skin, and your lungs. You know, an interesting thing is that a lot of people do not pay attention to the lymphatic system. And that's why I was so glad when we actually came about Santulan, simply because it has the ability to address that system in the body, because we know your lymphatic system primarily deals with gravity. It deals with a lot of situations associated with oxygen exchange, osmosis, that type of thing in the body. So if you do not have proper hydration, you will not have a healthy lymphatic system. I'll repeat that. If you do not have proper hydration, I should say one of the many issues that you're going to have is a lymphatic system issue, where you may have a lethargic or ineffective or inefficient lymphatic system. And that's something that you don't want, because if you know what lymphedema is, it is a condition where you have the individual not removing the fluid exchange is not as it's supposed to, and as a result of that, you have retainance of fluid in the lymphatic system, and it could cause a lot of swelling on their arms. We know the points in the body where the lymphatic system or the glands are primarily located. So having a healthy lymphatic system is very important, not only to your lymphatic system, but to your other systems in general, especially your circulatory system, because your lymphatic system also cleans or detoxifies or assists in the detoxification of the circulatory system, which primarily is what? Blood, oxygen, a little bit of plasma, cardiovascular aspect associated with there. So that's very, very important. And as I said, that is where Santulan comes in. So you want healthy skin? Try be Santulan. You might not. You might quite be satisfied simply because a lot of persons, you know what, that's one of the things they say, you know, somebody tell me like a bleaching or something like that, because you're literally, your skin, in some cases, look 2 to 3 to 5 times lighter. There are a lot of persons walking around that is not genuinely your complexion. Now, but that might sound like a weird thing to say. I say, well, what this man said to me, that is not the complexion. You are not in the sun, and especially by the side of your face, it looks very dull. That is an indication of poor circulation in the extremities. And in turn, it is an indication that you need some sort of detoxifying in the body. Okay? So let me give you those tells. You know, beyond checking yourself there. So let me give you those telephone numbers. You can give us a call on 222-8261. Now, these are the office numbers, and this is not for the program now. That number again is 222-8261. That's 222-8261, as well as 314-9975. That is 314-9975. And those locations, we are located on the first floor of Money Talks building. That is Money Talks building in Montrose, Shogunas. We are also on the corner of Ramsey Woods Trace and the SS Erin Main Road in Davie, as well as Red Edge Mall, Western Main Road, St. James, and Tobago, the Triangle Building in Scarborough, Tobago. Keep in mind, we do have our special running still. That is with the live nutritional blood cell analysis, as well as the magnetic resonance analysis, the dark field blood microscopy, live blood analysis, your executive consultation, and your complimentary food detox. All of that is included in that package. And we still have that on special, so that's something you could avail yourself of. The year has just started. Today is what, the 30th of January. So, you know, you're fresh in the game, you know, and then, of course, we're dealing with a situation where, you know, it is very important to try to keep your health as optimal as possible, especially in these times here. Not only your health, but the health of you and your family, especially the young ones. Okay, so I'm going to go across to Dion and see if you guys have any questions. We're going to open the telephone lines. Keep in mind your questions doesn't necessarily have to do with what I'm speaking about or deal with the specific topic that I'm dealing with. So, you know, feel free to give us a call.
All right, so the number is 624-7729, 625-2759. If you have a question for Dr. Batson, he's here, he's live. And you can give us a call, 624-7729, 625-2759. Dr. Batson, those marks that you're talking about, those dark marks at the side of the face, I've seen persons with that, the side of the cheekbone, maybe on the
forehead, the temple.
Is it those marks only seen on the face, or does it show up anywhere else? You know, like some people have some other dark marks on the skin and they say sukunya.
Sukunya, them and that kind of thing. Yeah, they all basically related. Now, someone is asking an interesting question here, which ties into what we're discussing, which is right. Someone. I'm gonna just say the last name is Kelly, I believe, because they have a spell. I think it's Leisha Kelly, Leigghsa. Okay, so Leisha, you could always correct me with my pronunciation. The Kelly, she's saying good. Apparently, where she is afternoon. No, it's afternoon. No, it's morning still. Yeah. My apologies. Yeah, I don't know why I just thought of the time there. Yeah, morning still, man. Well, as I said, I don't know if where you is this afternoon. So she said good afternoon. Is dark circles indicative of poor circulation as well as sleep deprivation? The thing is, usually if you have dark circles or little bags, which I just get, I very easy to get those things if I don't. And it's not like I don't get sufficient sleep, but when I read a lot, I find it happens to me. Maybe it's in the position that I'm reading. But usually, if it is, you just know the difference where somebody who doesn't sleep properly as opposed to someone who has a poor circulation issue. You just know, because like on the side here, oh, she's in London. Okay, so, and it's Lisa. Okay, good, nice. Right, so when you're seeing the side of the temple, the forehead, just below the eye, but especially your temple and your forehead, very dark, no, you gotta watch yourself. That's not only an indication of, now Santolan does help to clear that, but it helps to clear it because it helps to deal with poor circulation. And most people who have that darkness are persons who have indications with poor circulation in the cerebral hemisphere. That's the worst type of poor circulation to have, right? Because it means you have poor pulmonary circulation. What is pulmonary circulation? Pulmonary circulation is circulation above your heart. So the thing is, people think circulation in your body just runs like this, you know? And that's not the case, you know? You have systemic circulation, which is up. No, you have pulmonary circulation, which is on top, and you have systemic circulation, which is below. So the thing is, there's something known as pulmonary hypertension, which is worse than regular hypertension, simply because it is associated. So people who have pulmonary hypertension, which most doctors, I think usually when they're diagnosing hypertension, they just say, hey, you have hypertension. But a lot of people do not know that there is pulmonary hypertension, which is the worst type of hypertension because it makes you more susceptible to brain aneurysms, stroke, where it affects circulation here. especially in the cerebral hemisphere. So it's easy for you to have problems with your eyes. Glaucoma sufferers, people who have problems with glaucoma, most of the time, if you have a glaucoma rather situation, it means you have a situation where your pulmonary circulation, could most likely 98% of the time be compromised, and as a result of that, you're now experiencing glaucoma. Even though doctors say that glaucoma, which is high ocular pressure, is unrelated to regular blood pressure, but I totally disagree with that. Totally, because that doesn't make any sense. That doesn't make any sense at all. When you're dealing with circulation in the cerebral hemisphere, you're primarily dealing with pulmonary circulation. And if you're a person who has hypertension, and as I said, you have pulmonary hypertension, well, then you need to be very, 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 very careful, because you're a perfect candidate for a stroke, whether ischemic, hemorrhagic. You could be in some serious situations there.
624-7729, 625-2759. That is the number to call. Someone is asking a question here. Okay, so someone is asking a question here. They're asking, how can one control their heartbeat from beating really fast and waking them up at night?
No, the thing is, the problem is not your heart. The problem is your central nervous system. There's an anxiety problem. You see, the thing is, a lot of persons, how to put it, boy? All right. So when you're looking, there's something we have in our body known as, and that's basic, we learned that in primary school biology, something known as your flight or fight situation in the central nervous system. So that's primarily what is known as your autonomic nervous system, which is basically divided into two areas, which is your sympathetic and your parasympathetic. Now, people who suffer with anxiety, that system is, what's the correct term to use? It's out of balance, right? So it means that you have a situation where you can have this erratic heartbeat where you get up in the night and all of a sudden you get maybe a heartbeat of 120 beats per minute. You're sweating, you're feeling as if somebody just run you down. And that is an indication of anxiety. Now, the thing is, a lot of persons would get that, but a lot of women, especially women who have been in situations of, or who are going through PMS, which is postmenopausal syndrome, can experience situations with anxiety. And there are a number of things that you could use to correct that. Interestingly, let me just answer this quickly. If you know you have a situation where your heart is beating, your beats are much lower, so you find like you're getting a 50 beats per minute or a 45 beats per minute, you need to be very, very careful. What that is an indication of, because I know a lot of persons, poor souls, or they just went and let them open all the way up and put in pacemaker, and all they didn't know better, but that is usually an indication of mineral imbalance in your body. Now, there are certain minerals in the body that work in very key: magnesium, calcium, potassium, sodium. See them four fellas? They have to remain best of friends where their dealings are with the body, because they work in their interaction is so extensive in the body that any imbalance in either of those can seriously affect the cardiovascular system and a lot of other systems in the body. So that's something to keep in mind. A lot of times it's not that you just have to go and run and, just go and open up yourself and do a surgery. A lot of times, sometimes a simple explanation as regards to what you need to address, and it has a lot to do with, your diet, a lifestyle, that type of thing. Okay?
Definitely. We have another caller here. We have a message. This person is asking, good morning, doctor. What causes headaches in half of your head on the right side, even if your pressure is low?
But the thing is, you can have poor circulation, poor pulmonary circulation, poor circulation in general, and your blood pressure normal. It's two completely different things. Well, I mean, hypertension is also an indication of, or is also a form of poor circulation, or indication, I should say, of poor circulation. So if you're getting headaches, and your headaches usually on one side, it is an indication that you're not getting sufficient blood going to that part of the body. Remember, your brain has different, the two, primarily the different hemispheres. But when you're looking at, so your right side, left side, Now, 2/3 of your heart lies to where? The left side of your body, right? One of the things that we see is that, which is why when they take your blood pressure, where they take your blood pressure, right? Closest to your heart, right? Left hand. Up here rather. So it means that a lot of times poor circulation issues are usually left side, most of the time. When you have a problem with poor circulation, again, pins and needles, cramping your calves, burning on your feet. Now, I'm not saying it doesn't happen to the right, but most of the time it is to the left. So if it is happening to the left, it's an indication that your circulation is just more poor on the left. So it means if you're getting headache on one side of the head, whether the left or the right, it's simply an indication that the circulation on that side is much poorer than on the other side. And that's something that you need to pay very, very close attention to. It would mean that you need to address it. It could be an indication where it could be a simple thing as a pinched nerve. Because a lot of, if you understand the intricacy as it relates to the blood vessels in the body, remember the blood vessels in your body, if they were to actually lay them out, you know, like one line, it would make the circumference of the earth 2.5 times. I believe, if memory serves me correct, the surface area of the blood vessels in your body, I think it's the arteries, could cover something like about 10 football fields. So that's the surface area, which is why you have something known as endothelial cells. Now, those cells, the way they overlap, if they were just be stretched out, their surface area is a broad surface area. So it's very important that that proper surface area and oxygen exchange be maintained. And the problem is, with a lot of us, that is not happening. And hence you're getting problem with the headaches, the blurred vision, memory. People who end up with Parkinson, Alzheimer's, vascular dementia, I feel so sorry for them, in the sense that I believe a lot of the times they didn't try hard enough, or they didn't have access to proper information. Because I cannot see a family member of mine showing early signs, because these things give indications. Vascular dementia or dementia is not something that comes about just like that. Now, the difference between dementia primarily and Alzheimer's, I mean, Alzheimer's is a more advanced stage, but Alzheimer's people tend to be very calm and quiet. Dementia people are usually very aggressive. They tend to want to fight you and that type of thing. So, you know, one of the aspects of research was showing that is not only a central nervous system problem, but it also has a lot to do, well, with your gut, because we know your gut is your second brain. So that significantly affects the brain itself. So a lot of times people who have mental situations, depression, anxiety, you really have a gut problem that is contributing or exacerbating an already existing problem. All right?
Okay, Dr. Batson, someone is asking here, because we have a few questions here. So let me see. I'll try to make sure I get it in the order that it came. All right. Someone is asking here. Good morning, Dr. Batson. If your blood is thick, right, should you use chlorophyll?
All right. That's a good question. Okay. So, all right. So there's a difference between. Okay. So your blood count could be high. You might have a high blood count, 15, 16, 17. But it doesn't necessarily mean that your blood is thick. So if we're talking about thickness, we're talking about viscosity, right? So we know, of course, oil is more viscous or thicker than water. So let's use that as an example. So I can't remember off the top of my head right now. I could always check it out and speak in depth about it this week. I'm trying to remember what is the thickness that your blood is supposed to be. Because usually those people in the I&R clinic, which is where they look at the thickness of your blood, there's a certain measurement that you're supposed to be. I can't remember what is normal range off the top of my head. But in any case, if you have a situation where your blood is too thick, chlorophyll will help you. Because chlorophyll doesn't necessarily thicken your blood. It could build your blood count. But as I said, there's a difference between having a correct blood count or a high blood count and having thick blood. They are not directly proportional. So it doesn't necessarily mean having a high blood count is going to give you thick blood, and vice versa. Thick blood means high blood count, because there are people who have very thick blood, but they have low blood count. They are anemic, but it means that they may be dehydrated. They have a problem assimilating B vitamins, things like folic acid and that type of thing. They have a problem with the iron. And usually with those individuals, it is easier to use chlorophyll to build your blood count as opposed to iron supplement. Ferrous sulfate is something I do not like. I do ever recommend it for patients simply because I find it doesn't work in actually building or assisting the body in maintaining a high blood count. You have to be always taking it, and then you have to be very careful with iron, because iron in the excess of vitamin C is going to give you constipation. So, you don't want to be trying to work on one problem and then you end up giving yourself another. So it's a matter of, so in that question, yes, they can use it. It doesn't necessarily mean that it is going to thicken the blood. In fact, it's actually going to help in cleaning and detoxifying the blood, which is going to result in healthier thickness as it relates to the blood.
So, Dr. Batson, then, based on all that you're saying, there's a possibility that someone who's experiencing headaches for a period of time, there are persons who have been experiencing headaches
for years,
some migraine headaches, and they say they're drinking water, excessive water, and still nothing happening. So is there a possibility that because of the thickness of their blood, they could be getting these headaches?
Of course, definitely. But an individual like that, as I said, once you have poor circulation and blood is too thick, it means it's going to put pressure on the pump, your heart, and it's going to also put pressure on the blood vessels. So that can be an indication or a cause of your headaches over a period of time. The thing is, once you have headaches, migraine or cluster headaches, because you have different categories of headaches, but once you have headaches for extended period of time, something is seriously wrong. And it can be rectified. We just need to address, as I said, the root cause of the problem. What is causing the headaches?
Okay, someone is asking here, Dr. Batson, can you recommend a very good multivitamin? And what is very good for numbness in the hands and feet?
Okay, good. All right, so I'll go to numbness in your hands and feet. So once you have a numbness in your hands and feet, poor circulation and neuropathy. Now, the thing is, neuropathy cannot come before poor circulation. You have to have poor circulation first, and then as a result of poor circulation, end up with neuropathy, unless you were in an accident and your nerves were damaged, or you did some sort of surgical procedure. And in most surgical procedures, depending on where they're going, or in some, I should say, not most, your nerves can be damaged. Because especially where the surgeon may have to go, it's very close, and they may have to cut some nerves. And as a result of that, the nerves may be damaged. So, as I said, if you have a neuropathy situation, poor circulation situation, then you're looking at things like a circulation T, advanced circulation. God's willing, at the end of February, we will get back Circulation Plus. And Circulation Plus was a liquid circulation product that we use to help people clear their arteries and deal with blood pressure and that kind of thing. Very good product, but as a result of COVID, we wasn't getting it. So we actually should start back getting, God's willing, at the beginning of March, the beginning of March, end of February, around there. All right?
Someone is asking here, Dr. Batson, as well. Hi, good morning. What about dark ankles? I have seen a lot of persons, some of them whom are overweight and some who are not.
The thing is, usually when you've seen very dark ankles or by your instep, you got to remember there was a time I was watching my instep and I found it was looking dark. So I was like, what's going on with me, boy? Why is it looking like this? The thing is, it is an indication of poor circulation, but you have different types of poor circulation. Like there are some people who would have something known as where they have venous insufficiency, and venous insufficiency affects the systemic circulatory aspect of the body, so circulation in your legs. So the thing is, it is very easy for you to end up with poor circulation when you're seeing darkness. Usually when you're seeing dark spots, like there are some people, you're seeing things on your skin like you get licks something, that's usually an indication of poor circulation in those particular areas. Right? When you're seeing it in your instep by your ankles, especially if you're a diabetic, it is an indication of lack of sufficient circulation, which means lack of sufficient blood flow, which in turns mean lack of sufficient oxygen and nutrients going to the cells in the body. Right? So those people who may have DVT, which is deep vein thrombosis, which is very easy to deal with. But the thing is, a lot of persons don't pay attention to themselves until it's too late. Especially if you're a weight situation. So if you're a bit on the heavy side and you're not really carrying a weight that is conducive to your body type, your body structure, you can end up in situations where you're putting too much pressure on the veins in the legs or the blood vessels in the legs. And as a result of that, you're ending up with things like venous insufficiency, or you could end up with DVT and that type of thing. So it is a clear indication of poor circulation. The earlier, even women who end up with spider veins and varicose veins, those think you have some big veins looking like rope on your foot and saying, but you inherit that from your mother and your grandmother. That will kill you. Whether you get from them or you didn't get it from them, you need to deal with it. And a lot of times, you have the compression stockings, which are good, but it's not something recommended for overuse, because if you wear compression stockings for too long, you could end up in some problems. You could worsen the circulation situation. So, there are different things that you could use. There's a tea we carry at Batson Associates called circulation tea. We actually have that in stock now in large amount. And I'm trying my best not to run out of it again, because that is the most demanding tea that the gastro, liver, in fact, all those teas now. Okay, so that's something that you could avail yourself of. There's balanced circulation, which I know we got back in stock. Nerve Restore is also, well, that's my favorite product now. I mean, there are so many to be favorites, but Nerve Restore is it for me, because it makes you sleep so good. And, when you get up, you feel so relaxed, and, you're able to deal with different challenges and that type of thing. So that's something you could also get some information on. You can feel free to call us. You could also visit any one of the locations. We are located on the first floor of Money Talks building. That is Money Talks building in Montreal, Chagonas. We are also at the corner of Ramsamooch Trace and the SS Erie Main Road in Davie, as well as Red Edge Mall, Western Main Road, St. James, and Tobago is the Triangle building in Scarborough, Tobago. Those numbers again, you can get us on 222-8261. That's 222-8261, as well as 314-9975. That's 314-9975.
Someone is asking, I just want to play this voice note, or we have a few messages, but let me just play this voice note and then I'll take a call.
Good morning to Mr. Batson, Sir Jason Batson. Good morning to the announcer.
For the very first name,
Yeah, boy.
Because I'm not calling your name, but I really can't remember your name.
The announcer.
That's right.
I have a question for Mr. Batson. Can Sunderland do good for somebody who has cancer? What do you call it? Diagnosed with second stage of cancer and glaucoma and cataracts and things like that. Can what's really skin can Sunderland do any good for those situations? Thank you very much. Bye.
Okay. You're very welcome. Yes and okay. Yes and no. In the sense that, okay, so let's go to the cancer situation. So someone who has been diagnosed with, based on what you said, stage 2 cancer, Santulan can help you, but it depends at what stage of the protocol. Because you see, the thing with Santulan is a 7-channel detox, which is in most cases would benefit anyone. However, let me tell you, the people who would not get benefit from Santulan on the get-go, or let me just say they wouldn't get benefit, but they wouldn't get the benefit that they want, in the sense that we don't ever want anyone to end up with what we call healing crisis, or end up more sick than you are. Now, the thing is, there are some persons, because of the amount of toxins you have in the body, you got to feel a little sick before you feel better, because it's just a matter of a natural process of allowing toxins to come out of the body, because you have so much inside of there. So someone who has stage 2 cancer, once they do not have a situation with weakness or excessive weakness, I don't know if they would have started their chemotherapy or their radiation protocol. If they have done those protocols before, what type of cancer it is. But generally, once they do not have a situation of severe weakness, then they can use, Santulan. You also mentioned someone as it relates to glaucoma, cataract, and I think hair loss. If Santulan would help them, yes, they would. Miss Beverly Davis is asking when we get in Nerve Restore. We have Nerve Restore in stock. I'm not sure if you're calling from Tobago. Tobago should have, but they will get this week as well. But all the other offices should have as well. If they don't have they should have at least by Tuesday, God's willing. I know Chagonas has for sure. Right? So in that particular situation, Santulan can help you, as I said, at the genesis of the conversation, simply because Santulan is a 7-channel detox. And as a result of that, it is going to be advantageous in most situations. If you're an anemic individual, then I wouldn't recommend that you use Santulan off the bat. We're going to have to put something else in place for you. If you're an individual with severe weakness, same thing. If you're a dehydrated individual, and I've said this on numerous occasions, your body weight divided by 2 ounces, you should be drinking that amount of water for the last 1 to 2 months. So once you're doing that, then you're not dehydrated, and then you can use the Santulan without issue. Okay?
I'm just going to read this here, Dr. Batson. Blessed morning. How from your blood pressure reading can you determine if you have pulmonary hypertension? And also, what are your views on eating foods according to your blood type?
Okay. Well, in order for you to know if you have pulmonary hypertension, there are certain tests that they're going to have to do. There's a process in testing the blood pressure, which, in all honesty, off the top of my head, I can't remember all the details. But the thing is, when you're testing blood pressure, there are 3 ways of testing blood pressure, sitting, standing, and lying down, right? That's how they used to test blood pressure years ago, but now they just give you a little thing on your arm and they check it. Now you have the wrist attachment, and there's debate as to whether the one on the wrist and the one on the arm is better. Now, I tell people your diastolic or your systolic is your top number, your diastolic is your lower number, right? The thing is, your diastolic pressure is what is most important. So once you see your diastolic passing 85, going up to 90, you want to hit 100, you're in problems already. And then it means that you need to correct that. The possibility exists that you do have pulmonary hypertension. Okay? And the other question they were asking, what was the other part of the question, if you can remember? Because
the other part of the question is, what are your views on eating food according to your blood type?
I mean, I agree to some extent, but I am not a big advocate of it. Simply because some of the advice that was given there, like in some cases, they tell people, I think if you have blood type O, I think you can eat a lot of beef, and then there is one. So there was some contradictions in there. So I agree with it to an extent, but I do not agree with it in its entirety. I think it needs some adjusting and that type of thing. And that's normal because in medicine, what a lot of people do not understand, most of the times, medical interpretation is not definite. It's always open, it's always subjective to a number of things, even relative, you could put there as well, depending on what it is you're looking at. So I believe that there are some guidelines that you can follow. I believe hydration is important to everyone. I believe having a balanced diet as regards to your carbohydrates, your protein, your fats, especially your healthy fats. Portions is something that I believe is very important. And portion sizing is something that we do not follow in the Caribbean at all. Because, us West Indian people, we just take out food. You ever say, I'm going to take out some food. And you just go and take out food. You don't take nothing into consideration. You're studying your diabetes, you have hypertension. So you just go in the pot and take out food. And sometimes taking out food is what is putting in the problem, because you just taking out food, blah. You're not checking your portions. You don't know about, calculating calories, which you don't want to nitpick, but at the same time, you must be able to understand, when you're looking at protein, how many ounces you're looking at, that type of thing, because that is going to significantly affect the body, either in a positive or a negative light, because our carbohydrate intake in the Caribbean is too high. We consume too much, and we consume too much simple carbohydrates. You need more complex carbohydrates, which is primarily provision, and more ground food, or foods that have a lot of fiber in it, brown rice and that type of thing. The problem, our diet, bread, simple carbohydrate, rice, simple carbohydrate, potato, or what they call alu, simple carbohydrate. So when you have so much of that, pasta, simple carbohydrate. So when you have that in your diet, that's too much. And for your body to break that down, and then you're not exercising, you ain't going nowhere. All you just do is the food. Let's use move from the kitchen to the couch to your bed. You don't go nowhere else.
That's so interesting. God has made everything there for us to use. It appears, Dr. Batson, you have everything there that he has made for us in the plants and in the ground, in the earth, and you just mentioned some of them in terms of provision.
And the problem is we need to move away. Someone is asking about nerve restore and optimize. I'll talk about that in a little bit. But the thing is, we have moved away from how we're supposed to eat. We have too much processed food, and the processed food is because you have to understand the way your gastrointestinal system is designed. Your colon is 23 feet in length. If you have to take your whole colon and wrap it up, it's a big snake here, So it means that in order for you to have that food going through that alimentary canal, which is your ascending, transverse, descending sigmoid colon, it has to have fiber in it, and processed food lacks fiber. So we already, and that's primarily the biggest problem of the Western world, our consumption of simple carbohydrates, sugars. We put too much of sugar in our body, and the thing is, your body was not designed to actually deal with that. Everything that you digest, or I shouldn't say digest, everything that you put in your mouth and you swallow has an effect on your body, positive or negative, whether it's water, juice, soft drink. I was speaking to someone about coffee the other day, and they finally, when I discussed them, because they say, I always hear people say not to drink coffee, but they never explain it. Usually the first person who explained it to me. And I told them, you have to understand that coffee is a diuretic and is a stimulant. So if you drink coffee once a month, nobody will kill you. If you drink it once every 2 weeks, you drink a little all right amount. But you can't be drinking 6-7 cups of coffee, 1 cup of coffee for the day. That's 365 days in the year. That's trying to negotiate that with me of all people. It's like saying, here what? I'm going to take a drop of Gramazone and I'm drinking it in a glass of water every day. You will die. There's an old wives' tale. Those women, and I don't know, I hear my great-grandmother didn't talk about that. I don't know if she had a bad intention of doing it on my great-grandfather. I don't know when he was giving problems. You ever hear a woman, you ever hear they say how they use... I don't care if I was saying this. But in any case, you ever hear people talk about putting I better careful, they might say Dr.Batson advocate. But I'm going to say it because I just feel it. No, but I just feeling mischievous. You ever hear people say, the woman and them say when men getting bad, she know to do it here, she know to do it here. Put some concrete in your food, some cement in your food.
Yeah, I've heard stories about that.
Yeah, exactly. And I heard that long time, I heard people put... So if it is they're going to do it in a smart way, they ain't going to give you all the cement in a bowl of porridge one day and give you. It's gradually bit by bit. So the point I'm making, most of the time, the foolishness that you eat, it don't kill you one time. It's bit by bit, piece by piece by piece by piece. And the problem with a lot of persons, especially hypertensive people, and I was talking about it, show me a dear audience, show me someone who is hypertensive and they don't like meat. 99% of the people who have hypertension are meat lovers. They love meat, especially all the women. But me tell some woman could nyam meat, the worse than men. I bounce up some kind of girl, they carry them out your paw when you're done. They eat everything. They want one meal. Everything they eat. And meat, they like meat. They have a thing for meat, especially chicken. And that is what put in all in the set of problems. So
all in all, Dr. Batson.
Yeah. And only know, I don't even want to call the name. Only like this chicken business too much. You need to ease up on that. It's going to cause a lot of problems. It's causing problems already.
Well, Dr. Batson, somebody asked a question here. They said, good morning, I am taking blood pressure meds and it's causing a stuffy nose. What can I use besides the meds to reduce my pressure, also to stop my stuffy nose? That happens?
Well, it depends on the medication that you're taking. It could be a side effect of the medication, because hypertension medication is primarily calcium channel and beta blockers. And you don't even want to go to the chemistry of what that is do to your body, because that much of switching off, turning on, that kind of thing. But again, you have to deal with it for the root cause of your problem. You are not, no one suffers from anything without a reason. I find high blood pressure, almost as somebody told me the other day, but Dr. Batson, you never had high blood pressure. I say, how you know that? There was a time in my life, my pressure, when I was real stressed out regarding certain things, the blood pressure was starting to read high. And I say, look, you see me? This ain't going to kill me. Start to exercise, drink more. Well, I generally drink water and take care of myself. But I had to make a deliberate adjustment now because the stress level was so high that it was affecting me. But what I'm saying, if you have hypertension that really, 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 really bad, look at the statistics. Think of any family member that you have. Go back in your mind. whether it's a great aunt, a father, a mother, a cousin, a sister, somebody older that has died, and they died from things like stroke, aneurysm, heart attacks, check the file. I guarantee you, they were hypertensive. Guarantee you. Hypertension, people think diabetes bad, I know. I just always say sugar bad, eh? But sugar is no way as devastating as hypertension. Hypertension is not your friend. Do not play with that. Do not think you have it under control. You need to eat properly. Check your water. It has to have a reason why your blood pressure is giving you a problem. How is it that we have people who come to us with blood pressure 200 and something over 1 something, and when we work with them over a period of time, the blood pressure reading normal now? And it's only to go and start to form the fool and eat things that they ain't supposed to eat, and don't drink water and don't take care of themselves. Then after a long period of time, the blood pressure start back to give trouble. Because it's a matter of resetting the body. You have to put back things in place. And once the machinery and the equipment, the wheels turning good, you have proper lubrication, you have your oils, you have everything going good, the machine will work properly. But if it is, you don't have that. That happen?
Just going to take a final call. Let's see who's there. Hello, good morning. Welcome.
Yes, sir. Ooh, that time fly fast, man.
Hello, good morning. Guys.
You need to speak a little.
We can't
hear you.
my friend. You sound very soft. Oh yes, beautiful. Yes. Just okay. What you have to do is just lower your radio for us, so we can make sure, because we want to hear what you have to say. Yes, hello, good morning. Hello? Hello, good morning.
Yeah, good morning.
Yes, good morning, my friend. Go ahead.
Yeah. Dr. Batson, my blood pressure yesterday was 130 over 77. And this morning is 125 over 76 with a pulse at 27. Is that a good pressure?
That's very good. That's quite good. But the thing is, what you need to do is monitor it. So if you check it every day or every other day at least and record it, then you have some reference. And that's why I always tell persons with your hypertension and your blood sugar only if it is you may be diagnosed as being pre-diabetic, they see in some high levels. But that blood pressure that you just talk about, that's not a bad blood pressure. But what I suggest you do is at least monitor it, so that you could keep track of it properly. Okay?
Okay, thanks.
You're welcome, man.
And also, I'm constipated. What to do for constipation?
Do you drink water? Sufficient amount of water?
Yeah.
And how long are you getting problems with constipation now?
About a week now.
So that's something recent. So what changed in the week? Is it that you ate something different, you're under stress, you start taking...
No, I'm not under stress.
Antulan, which is a tea, is a 7-channel detox. It cleans and detoxifies kidney, colon, bloodstream, liver, lymphatic system, skin, and your lungs. So you could listen off the air, and you'll get the telephone number, and you could always call and get some information on it. And we have it on delivery and that type of thing too. So that's an option that you have as well.
And puffiness under eyes.
Yeah, that will help with that too.
Oh, and how much circulation take to use to get my circulation in order?
Well, what you should do, try a 1-month supply first and see how it goes. Look at the results, look at how you feel, and then we could go from there. You might have to use some more. That might be enough. It depends. All right? So for the nature time, because we're almost supposed to wrap up, we're almost out of time. You have the telephone number already?
Yes.
Okay. So it's 222-8261.
It's only on radio. I just get to talk to those states, the ladies them.
The receptionist and thing. Yeah, well, if you tell them you want to talk to me, depending on the time and thing. If I can't speak to you at that point in time, once you give them the message, I'll call you back. Well, that might be later in the day or next day.
Okay then. Thanks very much, Dr. Batson.
All right, my dear. You take care. God bless. Enjoy your stay there.
Same to you.
All right. Yes, Mr. Green, sir. So is it I have paid my taxes? My time is up. I am owing. So let me just say, so we continue now on our Facebook Live, Batson Associates Limited on Facebook. I have a lot of questions there, so I'll go over there. To the listeners of Sky 99.5, always a pleasure to be in your company. Thank you very much for allowing me, with my big mouth in your house this morning. I hope the information that I presented was satisfactory to you, and I hope you would have gotten some benefit from it. As we always say at Batson Associates, if you think health is expensive, try sickness. If you think education is expensive, try ignorance. God bless you guys. Remember, COVID is still here, so make sure and take care of yourself, sanitize, do your social distancing, use your common sense, and take care of you and yours. God bless. Mr. Green, sir, I look forward to seeing you at our next time, so maybe I'll see you next year, please God. But until such time, God bless you, sir, and take care of yourself.
Blessings to you, sir. No, man, not quite next year, man. You'll see me, sir.
I hear you.
Blessings to you, all right? God bless. I just sent a message to you there, Dr. Batson, on this same forum. Maybe you could just check it out and respond to me, please.
Okay, good. No problem.
All right, God bless.
Take care, man.
Hey, you're listening to Sky 99.5 FM. That was the voice of Dr. Batson of Batson and Associates. 222-8261. That's 222-8261-314-9975. If you need to get in contact with Dr. Batson of Batson and Associates. You're listening to Sky 99.5 FM. The Ingrid is my name. Here with you until the hour of 12. Following is the man himself, Dr. Mordecai. I have to call him Doctor, Dr. Mordecai Ben Israel is going to be here with us.
I was going to ask him. Anyway, that's one thing. I feel he must have said it here on the Oceans. Anyway, so Facebook family, pleasant good morning to you guys. Let me see where I can get this. Okay, good. I have it here. All right, so Ms. Melissa Richards, she's saying, Dr. Batson, I don't have to do anything. I get anxiety attack even if I sit down for a time. It attacks me during the day, and in the night it's even worse. All 4 a.m. and 3 a.m. now. Getting a break from constant shortness of breath. What can I do? Okay, so Ms. Richards, well, the thing is, if you're getting anxiety, well, I don't know your age, right? So the thing is, a lot of the times, as I said, women who are postmenopausal, well, let me put it, you could be premenopause, going through menopause, and postmenopause. Now, a lot of women do not understand that even after you go through menopause, it could be 2 years after, your hormones could start giving you problems. Once you are alive, once you're breathing, you in a situation where you can get ill. Obviously, because you're alive, right? So things could go wrong, right? It's like a vehicle on the road. If it is you're not on the road, you can't get in an accident. The possibility exists. I'm not saying you're going to get in an accident, but the possibility exists that you could get into an accident simply because you're on the road. So simply because you're alive, it means that the possibility exists that something could go wrong. So in this particular case, it is hormonal imbalance. Now, hormonal imbalance situations are usually or anxiety situations are usually an indication of hormonal imbalance in the body. So it's a matter of addressing that, because anxiety is not only a central nervous system problem. It crosses a lot of different organ systems. I mean, cardiovascular alone, because your heart rates, right? So it means that you need to address that. I would suggest you use the Nerve Restore. I don't know which area you are from, if you're from Trinidad or you're from overseas, but Nerve Restore is definitely something that you can look to get. I don't know if you ever had a consultation with us, but that is something that we could work on for you. All right. Doctor, are you shipping to Canada as yet? That's Marge Hills. Yes, Marge, we're actually shipping to Canada. I know we sent some stuff to a few people. Well, there. So you could get onto the office again. You could send it to the 868-314-9975 number, and you can get some information there. All right. Miss Janelle Gans is saying, good day. What can you use for Crohn's disease and passing urine frequently? Not diabetic and drinking less water? Well, if you have Crohn's disease is a inflammatory bowel condition. Inflammation itself is serious. So you're going to need to get, there's a stem cell digestion that we carry. That's a very good product. The mineral formula with the silver is also very good as well. That's a product that you should look out for too when you're dealing with Crohn's. If you're passing urine frequently and it's not a UTI, so you haven't been diagnosed with a urinary tract infection, it could be a situation where it's a bladder problem where it is resting on the bladder, or you have maybe uterine prolapse, or it could also be an indication, because they say drinking less water, that you're not drinking sufficient water. And then you mentioned diabetes. So you have some things that you need to deal with, but you need to address that, from the root cause of the problem. So Ria Smith is asking, can endometriosis be cured? All right. Well, Ria, cured is a kind of legal kind of word, right? So we'll use the word reverse. And yes, endometriosis can be reversed. Women with endometriosis are women who have very, very serious hormonal imbalance and very serious poor circulation in the uterine area. So as a result of that, blood is not being transported properly. You don't have proper oxygen. You don't have proper circulation taking place. So as a result of that, you're going to end up with situations. But definitely, there are things that we carry like women's formula, the alkagen water, silver with mineral formula. There's a product called cyst and fibroid formula that we carry. When we get the new shipment, the name is going to be rechanged. They change all the labels, bottles as well, because all those things are glass bottles now. No plastic bottles again with those. So that's like the inflammation formula, the chlorophyll, cyst and fibroid formula, which is going to be known as uterine formula in the new set that we get in. And then, of course, you have Circulation Plus, which is also going to be a liquid product as well. All right? So those are some of the things that could give you some assistance. All right? Good morning, Dr. Batson. What's your take on women taking saw palmetto? It's very good for women. So palmetto was advertised primarily, primarily for men, but it's not as if women cannot use it. And even vice versa, of course, there are products that I would normally use for women with hormonal imbalance, and men could use it. Vitex, for example, is one. There are a number of other things that you have, maca, and different things that can be used. Most things are interchangeable. They are not things that are specifically used by a specific sex. Because, like, look, for example, this thing, Babwande. Babwande is something that's primarily used by a lot of men because it has some aphrodisiac properties, but it's primarily a blood cleanser. So women could use Babwande too. You understand? Okay, JC Cadagan is saying, good morning, everyone. Dr. Batson, my 18-year-old always gets some rashes on her neck, sometimes break out in pimples. Would Santulan help this? JC, it would help. However, what I suggest you do, we need to find out how much water she's drinking. If she's not a person who drinks a lot of water, and I, for some reason, think she doesn't, because, this generation Z or X or whatever, they tend not to like water. So what you may have to do is do the alkagen water first, and then do the Santulan and maybe the chlorophyll and a woman's formula. Also check and find out what's going on with her menstrual cycle. If she's getting a lot of rashes, especially on the neck and pimples, it could also be an indication of hormonal imbalance. So question her as regards to the frequency of the period. If the period is very painful, if she has a lot of clots, it could be some indication or early signs of polycystic ovarian syndrome. All right? D. James is asking, hi, Doc, can mitral valve prolapse be reversed? That's a good question. The people I have dealt with mitral valve prolapse, I have seen improvement. I have seen the situation stabilized long-term, because mitral valve prolapse is a serious thing to deal with. But there are a number of things that we have used, and it has helped clients significantly with that situation. So I would say yes. The age of the person could also play a factor, the health of the individual, that kind of thing. Okay, so let me give you those telephone numbers again. Okay, JC or Canada, it's a boy. but he hasn't been drinking a lot of water. Yeah, well, he needs to address that, right? Excuse me. That's from the mask. Sorry about that. Those fine hairs is just getting in your nose. Right. Okay, so JC, that was it for your question. Good morning, Dr. Batson. What can you use for an enlarged prostate? Antoinette Smith. There's a product we carry at Batson and Associates called Enzyme Formula. Very, very good product. There's also one we have called Prostate Formula and the Prostate Tea. So that male, is going to be someone who you're going to have to use. We're going to have to do a protocol thing. And of course, they're going to have to look at the meat intake. They're going to have to lower the meat intake because remember, you want to remove as much inflammation from the body as possible, right? So that includes food that would contribute to inflammatory response. All right. Cindy Hoyt is asking, Doc, I was told that people with goitre may have an unknown allergy to nickel. Are you able to elaborate on that? Whoa. Cindy, I'm going to have to do some research on that. And it's the first time I hear about that. So I'm going to note it and I'm going to check it, and I could always get back to you when I'm doing that next program. All right? Good day, Dr. Batson. Do you think that Yarrow tea and Rishi will help with ovariances? Yeah, I believe they will provide some benefit. You definitely need to look at things like cyst and fibroid formula too, and the mineral formula. Because when you're dealing with ovarian cysts, you remember you have different types of cysts, right? You have Nebotian cysts, you have chocolate cysts, you have different types of cysts. So it depends. But cysts in general, the type usually indicate location as to where these cysts are. Okay? So let me give you that information. Again, you can give us a call on 222-8261. That's 222-8261, as well as 314-9975. That's 314-9975. And our location, we are located on the first floor of Money Talks building. That's Money Talks building in Montrose, Chaguanas. We also on the corner of Ramson Wood Trace and the SS Erie Main Road in Davie, as well as Red Edge Mall, Western Main Road, St. James, and Tobago is the Triangle building in Scarborough. Tobago, keep in mind too as well that the tea, someone was asking about the blood pressure tea. We do have teas in stock. We do have Santulan in stock. I'm coming to Tobago, God's willing, this week. I'll be in Tobago on Tuesday, God's willing. So that's something you could look forward to. We're doing work finally coming to a close with that office in Tobago. So very soon we're going to have our new office space. So when we do that, then we're going to be dealing with Tobago as we're supposed to, as we had a custom to have been dealing with you in the past. Okay? Someone is asking the question, Dr. Batson, thank you for sharing your words of wisdom and knowledge with us. I am doing much better. Blood pressure is now, blood pressure was 209/105. It has gone to 116/464 daily. So I hope that you have lunch. Oh, I hope we can have lunch when I come to Trinidad and Tobago. Don't eat a lot of meat, LOL. You're very welcome. Okay. And Miss Elizabeth Nandlal is also saying she's having that experience. That's good. So you see, we also have that cleanse package. Shaki, we doing that online, right? Mm-hmm. Okay, right? So you could check out on our Facebook page that cleanse package that we have. So if you know someone who's in dire need of a cleanse, or they want to reset, they're not feeling good, it may not necessarily be a cleanse alone. We may just have to speak to the person briefly to ascertain certain things and then make the necessary recommendations for them. Okay? Excuse me. Okay, I'm trying to get, what can I use for hypertension, not diabetic? If you have problems with hypertension, as I say, you need to pay attention to your meat intake. You also need to look at the reason why you're getting the hypertension. Is it a gastrointestinal problem? Is it a situation where you do not have sufficient, your bowels are not as healthy as they're supposed to? There are a number of things that could contribute to hypertension. So that's something that you need to pay very, very, very close attention to. Okay? So back to one of the things I was discussing. So someone had asked the question about eye optics formula. We do carry eye optics formula. We have dealt with a number of persons. Okay, Miss Kizzy Saucy Martino. You have a fancy name there, Kizzy. I'm in dire need of a cleanse. I need to set up a consultation. Okay, good, no problem. I don't know which area you're from, which is the closest office, but call and we're going to make the necessary arrangement. Let me say again a pleasant good morning to all the hardworking team at Batson and Associates. Always working hard. We in the process of bettering the situation. Of course, we could always better our best as regards to addressing certain things in the body. Yes, Shaki. Oh no, I thought you were telling me something. Good morning. How can one get a consultation via WhatsApp, Nadia Mark? We're actually working on that right now, where we're doing consultations on Zoom and WhatsApp call. We prefer the Zoom for the integrity of the quality rather of the call, but we can do WhatsApp. So that is something that we're actually starting to address as well. Okay. Would like you to bring me a package for acid reflux when you're coming to Tobago. Okay, no problem. We already have some of those things over there. So we have some stock coming over to Tobago within the week. So it would also be inside. It would also be, inside of that as well. Okay. Someone is asking, I was asking earlier if some have light sight on eye because of glaucoma, can that be reversed? Or if someone has lost sight, you want to say in the eye. Well, it depends. If you have been clinically diagnosed as blind, it is difficult to recover your sight. But if that is not the case, then we can also work with that. Okay, so Kizzy is saying she's in Diego Martin, so St. James location would be great for her. Okay, well, call them now, Kizzy, and we're gonna make it necessary. I have some makeup days to do in St. James. I'm usually in that office on a Friday. We have the senior consultants, Mr. Paul Green, as well as Mr. Rene Bastamante, who's usually in that office. We also have Ms. Karishma Ramdan. So it's primarily 4 of us. So it's not only Dr. Batson alone, and we could also work with that. Okay? Someone's asking, Doc, I did my follow-up 2 weeks ago in Davie. The results were phenomenal, and all because of the advice and protocols that you give. Thanks all the way, Dr. Batson and your team. But it's true, good health is really expensive. That is Miss Elizabeth Nanlan. You're very welcome, my dear. I know you have been dedicated to your protocol, and I know you have gotten great results. So, I'm glad to hear that. Yeah, I know it costs a little bit, but I mean, the thing is, good thing about it, you have the health and strength now that you can make more money, right? Or as you know, they say, your health is your wealth. So once you have good health, you can accomplish everything. Ms. Gwen is asking, Glenn is asking, did you get the nerve restore? Yes, we have nerve restore. Just make sure and call the location that you want to get it at, because I know Shogunas has for sure, but I'm not sure if St. James and Davie would have gotten their supply, because I know head office got over the weekend, so they have to distribute. So this week. So make sure and call before, right? Call first before you go down there. All right? But within the week, we should have. Okay? Rhea Smith, she needs to get a Zoom consultation. Okay? So, again, the 8683-149975. I want to take some book for those overseas consultation and that overseas, because I am the person who, working assiduously. Well, not me. Me and some aspect of my team, but there are some things that I need to put in place. So that's what we're also working on. All right? Miss Jacqueline Rogers Blackman, Dr. Batson, something for sleep, please. Nerve restore, optimizer, inflammation formula, and you're sleeping like a baby. Okay? So, as I was saying, so I'm going to do an hour and a half, so I have 8 minutes with you guys again, right? One of the things that I was saying as regards to the eye drop. So someone was asking about eyes, and they asked about Santulan in connection with the eyes. And the thing is, Santulan would help your eyes. Because a lot of people, when they think about the eyes, they'll say, okay, Batson selling an eye drop, I'm going to get the eye drop because you're thinking it's your eyes alone. But no, a lot of you don't have proper circulation to your head, proper circulation to your brain. You're not properly hydrated. And as a result of that, a lot of these things can cause problems with your eyesight. So that's something that you need to pay very, very close attention to. Okay, so we do have eye optics formula in stock. Someone is asking, do you need all those for sleep, or is just one or the other? No, Ms. Benjamin, I would say all for now. Because what you have to do, you see, the thing is, some people sleep so bad or lack, or the whole sleep cycle just out, that we need to address it. So a lot of times, and let me make this clear, and I'm not buffing you, I'm not pointing to you, but I'm glad you said it that way so I can make this point. Let me tell you something. Price will always be a consequence in this world. Everything. If you want a vehicle now, you gotta go and buy it. Right? There's always a financial consequence to everything. What I've learned with people, and I've told them, and the clients who have taken, you see when they take advice? Even me, with all my big mouths, it have times I just shut up and take my advice, take my criticism, because at the end of the day, it will always work out for your betterment. You will always improve as an individual, right? So with that being said, you don't have to have $1 million to come to Batson and Associates. You know? Some of you, all 30 circulation tea, I don't call price, but 30 circulation tea is not more than $200. So let's say you buy 50 circulation tea, which is half of that. So let's say it's not even $100. You will be doing something for yourself. You hear what is that telling you? Don't ever feel, oh God, I gotta go buy Batson, I need $500, I need that $1,000. No. You come with what you have, right? But we can't send you to thief. You can't go and rob people. We know the situation we live in. I mean, at the end of the day, we had to deal with a US situation, everything going up. So, you know, we working, everybody working in a particular way. But my point is, do not wait until things going wrong with you. Because let me tell you something, the longer you stay and the worse you leave the thing, is the worse off you're going to get. Is now, you think you got to spend money now? When you leave it to get real bad, you're going to have to spend more money. And you know what's the unfortunate thing? You're going to go and spend money in the wrong place with the wrong set of people who cannot help you. And when you get really bad, is then you're going to try and find me. And then when that is either one, it's too late, or you have to go and put yourself in more expense. Common sense make before book. The old people always say, always say, common sense used to make before book. Before the Honorable Prime Minister say you're big and you have sense, that's something my great-grandmother always used to tell me. Always. You're big and you have sense. Use your common sense. It don't take nothing out of you. It is not $1 million. Take care of yourself. 3 bottles of alkagen water. It wouldn't kill you, even if you don't buy anything from me. Even. Because you don't have some people so. They go say, you see that man, I don't like you, me good, man. You good, I have no problem with that. That's your business. But your thing or your responsibility is to your good health now. Your good health. That nobody else could do that for you. So stop playing the fool and talking nonsense and saying about you don't have no money. Don't do yourself that. You hear what is I telling you? That's someone they wouldn't even go and buy a little vitamin C, a little D3. Like if you are going to the pharmacy and buy it in the packs, you afford what you could afford, and when you could afford better, then you afford better. Nobody is saying no. But don't sit down and tell me that you don't have even $100 to spend on yourself. You're wicked if you're telling me that. You're wicked to your own self. Whatever happened to you, because you don't like yourself. So nobody is to feel sorry for you when you're in problems. Don't do yourself that foolishness. Even if it's a bottle of water, something, do something. Because someone else just sit down there, eat stupidness, don't do anything, and then you want to blame the world when you get sick. That don't make sense. Don't do yourself that. Don't do yourself that at all. It didn't take it out. I specifically brought teas, and I just bring tea like a madman for that said reason. That's one of the cheapest things you could find in any one of my locations. As I say, 15 pack of tea, I'll tell you something before I go. Last time I was in Tobago, this lady came to me. No, a story. It wasn't Tobago. It was in St. James. And it wasn't the last time. It was last year. Sometime November, I was dealing with a lady. She brought someone to us. You know what she tell me? She said, Dr. Batson, I'm supposed to come and see you, but I ain't come yet. Because, my money ain't really reading how I want it. But I wanted to bring this lady, so she brought her neighbor. And the neighbor come and she do the test and whatever. You know what that lady told me? She said, Dr. Batson, you know what? She said, your product and I'm really good enough. That circulation tea is really work. You know, she said, Dr. Batson, I just had money. I said, I have $100. I go in and spend $100 by Dr. Batson. And she went and she bought some circulation tea and some gastro tea. I think she got like about 12 or something like that. You know, that lady said, just with that tea alone, she said, Dr. Batson, you would believe how good I feel. I used to get pain under my foot. I used to be seeing like my varicose veins feeling like if they want to burst spider veins. Just by drinking circulation tea, you know. Circulation tea. She said, Dr. Batson, in about a week to 2 weeks' time, I see a significant difference. And that was just that. So what's stopping you? What's stopping you? The old people have a saying, an ounce of prevention is better than a pound of cure. Plenty of all. You see people with high blood pressure and this dialysis machine, if you dialysis is not a holiday. Dialysis is not a trip to Dubai. It is not a trip to Barbados. It is not St. Lucia. You're not going on the Boca Reef. You are going to be uncomfortable and sick and miserable for the rest of your life if you end up on that piece of foolishness. Now, I'm calling it foolishness, not because now they save lives, but it's how. You don't want to be on that. All right, so those telephone numbers, again, you can give us a call on, or the sleep product again, Miss Blackman. You need to have, now, if you did not use Santulan, my darling, and you have not taken a cleanse, you need Alkagen water, you need Santulan, so you can buy 3 bottles of Alkagen water, one pack of Santulan. That's not even $200 there. Nerve Restore, when you start to add Nerve Restore, you start to add a little money. If you add inflammation formula, if you add this next thing, Optimizer, and it could show you some liver today. And I'm telling you, you spend that money and you use that and you'll have a testimony for me. You're going to get results. Yeah, it have nobody who used that Nerve Restore and didn't come back for a bottle. We never have enough, I tell you. Right now, with the supplier, I'm making noise with them. I say, I cannot run out of this product. So the thing working is good thing, We have good thing, Don't worry. That's one thing I can guarantee you. I don't sell rubbish. I don't sell rubbish at all. All right? So, those telephone numbers, you can give us a call on 222-8261. That's 222-8261, as well as 314-9975. That is 314-9975. Our locations, we are located on the first floor of Money Talks building. That is Money Talks building in Montrose, Chabonas. We're also on the corner of Ramson Wood Trace and the SS Erin Main Road in Debe, as well as Red Edge Mall, Western Main Road, St. James. Okay? Look, someone, Miss Beverly Davis is saying Nerve Restore, the boss, and she put boss in capital. I tell you, bad product, that watchman. What did they say on Flick? Let us careful, I'm thinking of the young people talking. I know, next thing I curse in there. So, God bless you guys. Enjoy the rest of your Sunday. And as we always say at Batson and Associates, if you think health is expensive, try sickness. If you think education is expensive, try ignorance. I have some lives that I have to do for you guys. Shaquille is looking at me with cut eye because I promised him something. But you know, I'll be real busy, but I'm going to make sure and do that. Keep in mind, Thursday, God's willing, we will be on 103.1 FM from 11 a.m. We'll be streaming that on our Facebook at Batson and Associates Limited. And on 12:15, we'll be on Akashvani, which is 106.5 FM. And we'll be streaming that on our Instagram, which will be Batson and Associates TT. On YouTube, we are Batson and Associates Trinidad. Melissa Richards, you're very welcome. All right. Okay, Miss Victoria Joy Benjamin. I have been to your St. James branch already. I was very pleased. I am asking for my daughter. She's not sleeping. Okay, Ms. Benjamin, I'm glad to hear that. Thank you so very much. Yeah, so your daughter, well, what she could do, you're going to have to find out. I don't know what's the age of your daughter, but you know most of the time these young people, they don't like to drink water. So possibility, she might need some water. She may have to do a water cleanse depending on how much water she drinks. Then the Santulan and the Nerve Restore. And she's going to get some good results. Miss Pauline McKenna, good morning. You talking too fast. The sleep tea again, please. Pauline said he said Nerve Restore for you. Okay. Jacqueline say, yes, Pauline, I hear you. Yeah, Miss McKenna, you're moderating the live this morning. If it's one thing, she always on point, like so many of you guys. Pauline McKenna say you can replay the video when he is done so you can get his response. Yes, Miss McKenna. So Facebook, always a pleasure to be in your company. You guys enjoy the rest of your Sunday. Enjoy your lunch. Let's hope the lunch is more callaloo than pie, right? God bless you guys and enjoy the rest of your day. Those telephone numbers again, 222-8261, 314-9975. Those of you who have your appointments, who need your appointments, those of you who have to have revisits, we are working on that. We have not forgotten you. So God bless again and enjoy the rest of your Sunday. Take care. Bye.